For all my Android users, today we're going to talk about how you can use OneNote and some of the productivity tips that are going to help you maximize the user interface. If you are a longtime Android user and you've been using OneNote, you know as well as I know we don't have all the same features that you see in the iOS as well as the Windows build of this application. Yes, unfortunately, Android users don't have all those really cool tools, but it does have all the functions that you need to take notes with your mobile device. And today I'm going to show you a handful of tips that are going to make this experience much better so that you can have a more of a Windows Apple feel with this GUI interface. So let's dive into it and take a look how you can maximize your performance in OneNote on an Android device. First and foremost, for those that maybe haven't had the experience of using this application, let's do a couple little housekeeping things. When you go into your notebooks, here you have the hamburger button. This is going to allow you to not only sign into your account, but access your notebooks, and you can add notebooks by clicking more notebooks, and there you can see the most recent notebooks that you want to open. If you do not see the notebook that you wish to open on here, you can go online to the web browser, log in to OneNote.com, sign into there, pull up the notebook on your web browser, on the tablet or mobile device, and then open that notebook on the application, and it'll create a link and require you to sign in, and you can pull into it. From here, you have the ability to navigate by simply clicking on the notebook, seeing the different sections. In some cases, some notebooks are going to have the ability to open up a group section, and you're going to find additional sections in there. And if you're looking to get to, like, say, a daily planning tab in January, you're going to find here we have January and then all of the individual dates. The thing is, as soon as you tap on an individual date, that all goes away and you maximize your screen for taking notes and accessing your planner. Across the top here, we have a couple different tools. We have the ability to go to the Home tab and see all of our typing tools. Because I'm using the Stylus at this point, these are all grayed out. I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you can type in the planner. Here we have the ability to insert different media, if it be pictures, recordings, attachments, and even create tags. But draw is the one that is most familiar to a lot of people. From here we have all of our draw tools, including pen tools and highlight, as the ability to erase and create shapes, and our select tool, and the stop tool, which is going to be very important as we dive into this. So first off, if I click on a pen tool, I have the ability to change the color as well as adjust the thickness. So you'll have to play with this to find what works best for you. By selecting the color and the line thickness and clicking off, you can go ahead and you can write a note inside OneNote, and that'll save that selection for future use. Same thing goes for highlight. I can click here, I can change the thickness, and then I can go ahead and highlight. Now, on some devices, the Stylus is going to have some features too. You might have the ability to use, like, say, a button. In this case, this button acts as an eraser, and I can choose the undo to bring it all back. But certain styluses on certain Android devices are going to give you additional features. Just be aware of that. We also have the erase tool here, and we have the ability to draw shapes. So if I wanted to draw a rectangle, I could do so. Now, the rectangle is going to illustrate the pen tool that I last chose. If I would go to this other pen tool, which is blue, and then draw a shape, it is going to show up in that selection. That also works if I adjust the thickness. So I'll make it really thick. I'll select. Here I'm going to do a circle, and you can see that I was able to draw a circle. Now, the Lasso tool is one of my favorite tools when it comes to using OneNote across the planning system, is because what it allows me to do is some pretty cool features where I can select text. I can then go ahead and copy that text. And what's really cool, if I have a to-do, I can go ahead and copy it. I can go back to the next day in my planner, go ahead and click paste, and drop in that to-do from one day to the next. So let's talk about some of these advanced features that you guys have been waiting for. The one that I want to show you that is probably the most exciting for me is really just a way you use the planning system. As you see right here, I have all my written schedule and I do a lot of color blocking. You can see that I extended the highlighting past the written notes. The reason why this is important is if I select this entire area, highlight and type, I can easily move that appointment. But maybe I want to change the color blocking but not erase the text. Well, if I go into my eraser tool and slide down the side here, it'll erase the highlight, but it will not erase the text. I'm going to undo that and bring it back. What happens if I wanted to leave the highlight but I wanted to change the description? I can go into my Lasso tool, and this time only selecting the text allows me to move this out of there. I could actually even delete that. And I'm just going to go ahead and select the same thing there and delete that. That left the highlighter there. Now, if you are someone that does block scheduling, this is really cool. But I'm going to bring that back. And what the point of this exercise is, by going ahead and extending your highlighting past the text on all of these, you're able to then erase the highlighting or change the text without affecting the other one. A lot of other note-taking apps will allow you to only erase the highlight or only erase the text by changing the settings in the eraser. Can't do that on OneNote, can't do it on an Android platform, but with this little tip, you are able to do so. The next thing I want to show you is kind of a big one. I'm going to give you a whole area to show it to you as well, because it's going to be something that a lot of you ask. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop button. And then from here, I'm going to go ahead and tap on the screen twice. And you're going to see that my cursor popped up. And I'm going to go ahead and write a note. Now, one thing many people will tell me is when I write a note or write text, if I go ahead and select that text and try to move it, it kind of jumps around. And you can see that here. Well, it's the snap to grid feature. Now, we show you how you can change that snap to grid feature on a Windows OneNote by going into the Shapes tool. But on an Android device, it's kind of frustrating, especially when you start typing a note in here. Well, I learned if you start typing a note, grab your stylus and then just draw a little line, and then go ahead and hit Select tool and select both that container as well as that little type that we made. I now have the ability to move that type wherever I want it. And I'm going to put it right there. Then I'm going to go back and just use the erase tool, erase that line, hit stop, and then go ahead and I'm going to return. I'm going to keep writing my note. And now all of my lines line up with the note-taking lines on the planning page. That is so awesome, and I feel like this is one of the best tips I can give you if you're an Android user, because now you can effectively position your type notes where you want them, not only in the note-taking side of it, but also in the schedule. So I can go ahead and I could select that, and I can now move that, and I could actually have a typed out schedule in my scheduling blocks. So if you're someone that doesn't like to write and you're using a tablet and you want to type out your schedule for the day, you can now achieve that by just, again, creating a line and selecting the box. You have the ability to get past that snap to grid feature and easily access moving that table. The next thing I want to show you is how you utilize hyperlinks on the Android platform. So I have my stylus. First I'm going to just put it down, hit the stop button. I'm going to go ahead and click on the date. And you're going to see I have an open link option. I hit that open link and it'll take me to that page. The reason why there's that extra prompt is because if we didn't have that hyperlink feature where we had that prompt to open a link, you could accidentally, as you're going across the planning system with your hand, you could accidentally navigate to a page you didn't intend to. So the developers of the app, I believe, felt that by having this little extra feature where we have to go ahead and tap on it and hit open link, we'll make sure that we don't navigate to where we want to go. It does seem like a little bit of hassle, but I think as you get to use it, you can pretty easily get anywhere you need to go by just an extra second. So I think that's pretty important. The next thing I want to show you is a bonus tip for Samsung users. Many people ask me, hey Brandon, on Windows as well as the iPad, I can use my stylus and I can convert that handwriting to text. Why can't I do it with the Android app? Well, you can if you are using a device that allows you to convert that handwriting text as part of the ecosystem. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure I turn the stop button off. Stylus is down. I'm going to tap on the screen. I'm going to bring up my keyboard. You might not see this feature right away if there is something saved to your clipboard. In that case, just put a little space in there in order to get this toolbar. And one of the tools that you're going to see is this text pen tool. If I tap that button, it'll go ahead and it'll give me this area to write. And now I can go ahead and I can write in this box. And as I write, it's going to convert this to text. Now, again, if I just draw that line and select that box and move it over here, I then can also then continue to use this area to keep writing notes. And it'll align to where I want to go. I feel this is really awesome if you're on the fly. I actually use it most often with my fold. A lot of times if I have my fold out in front of me and I want to go ahead and I want to write a note but I want it to look clean, I can easily do the same thing. And as you can see here, I'm going to return down and just say hello. And that converts it there. So I use this a lot of times on my mobile application more than I do on my tablet, but the feature is there for Samsung users as part of OneNote. So if you are using an ecosystem that allows you to take handwritten type and convert it as part of the keyboard process, you're going to be able to utilize this feature and it's going to sync across all your devices. So here's a couple pro tips to getting started utilizing OneNote on an Android platform so you can maximize your performance. If you guys enjoyed this, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel. If you got a comment or question, I want to hear it, hit it up and below and I'll get back to you. Lord willing, I'll see each and every one of you in the next video.